let's say I was in the front row and you start doing crowd work and you look at me. Let's say you don't know who I am.
Mm-hmm. If there's something that...
What would you say?
Based on you?
Yeah.
Well, first I would probably attack your 1776 Frederick Douglass haircut.
What would you say? You got the,
I just said,
you got the 77
so you just,
Frederick Douglass. You
nigga went to the barbershop and said, yeah, let me get the Frederick Douglass. Let me get the 1776. Nigga, you got slave hair. You know, that might be something I say. You know? And anything you say past that is ammunition.
But it's funny because you are roasting me without insulting me. I don't feel offended. It's funny, and I can laugh.
But even if you did feel offended, now it's really funny. Because everybody knows you're upset, and people love to pile on.
The Touré show. Okay, though. The Touré show. Okay, though.
That might be the best question I've ever been asked.
You're a phenomenal person. I mean, you legendary.
I am a fan of you, my brother.
The other day, my man Aries Spears, who I did not know, DM'd me on Instagram out of the blue, yo, I want to do your podcast. Immediately I said, absolutely, you're the man. It's going to be an amazing time. Let's go. And of course, Aries Spears is always funny, always fun. Love this brother. Amazing conversation. Yo, he grew up on 34th and 10th, Hell's Kitchen, Manhattan. And now he's about to headline the theater at Madison Square Garden, just right around the corner from where he grew up. What an amazing story. Let's get into it. Aries Spears on Touré Show. So, okay, who is your number one stand-up of all time? But this is that you can't answer the question. It's too complex.
When people ask, who's your Mount Rushmore? I have my 4 for that. But to not be able to include the other people that I feel are above them, I put them in the Mount Olympus.
I want to hear this list, and I'm confused currently at why the Olympus isn't the Rushmore.
Because the Olympus has put in more time, has a more deeper body of work, and has had more of an impact overall on the culture of comedy.
But, so why aren't they the Rushmore? Why aren't they?
Because they're bigger than Rushmore.
So
they're bigger than Rushmore. They're gods.
So who's all right, first do the Rushmore and then do the Olympus.
The Rushmore is Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Bill Burr, and Tommy Davidson.
Wow. I am impressed that you have Tommy that high.
Tommy is a beast.
No, I know. He's been on the show a bunch of times. He's a beast.
Tommy,
but most people don't put him that high.
Tommy treats stand-up, no matter how long he's been in it, like it's his first time.
Because I know, I mean, Dave is everywhere.
Dave is the GOAT today.
Comics love Bill Burr, so I'm not surprised.
Bill's a white guy who doesn't pander to black audiences to get laughs. He's who he is naturally and gets laughs.
And your number 2 was?
Patrice O'Neal.
And Patrice is a legend. I mean, Tommy's a legend. I'm just, he's not normally mentioned that fast. So who's the Olympus?
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Red Fox, Dick Gregory.
Those
are the gods.
For sure.
They're the ones who kick the doors open for the rest of us.
What about Cosby? Can we not talk about him anymore?
You know, Cosby, and listen, it's all subjective, but as a guy who is a comedian, storytelling doesn't move me the way hardcore jokes do.
Are you a Carlin guy? Or that's ideas, that's not stories?
Listen, I respect Carlin. You can't help but respect Carlin. And this is something I've talked about on my podcast with my podcast partner. There's a certain point where you start going, is this a rant or are there really jokes here? And I noticed with white people as an audience, white people applaud effort. If a comic comes up and doesn't really say anything funny, but puts a lot of energy, a lot of expletives, gets on a rhythm of blah, 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 blah. Woo! White people simultaneously applaud effort. Niggas don't give a fuck about effort. I paid to get in this motherfucker. I had to buy 2 drinks. I got a bitch that ain't gonna give me no pussy, and I know it. Nigga, show me. Now there's an attitude.
So now I understand what you're saying. Your Rushmore is contemporary, and your Olympus is, it's basically the old folks.
No, but that to me lessens what I'm saying.
You left Rock out of the Rushmore. You put Tommy Davidson ahead of Rock.
You know what's funny? I just
Chris
recently did his brother Tony Rock's podcast, and I said this to Tony. I go, listen, man. Styles make fights. You know, we're all boxers in the same game.
Sure.
The same way you would watch a fight, a big time fight, and you look on TV and you go, oh shit, Lennox Lewis, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather is sitting ringside. We respect the hustle. That being said, Chris Rock, I get it. He's a genius, one of the best. I love his brilliance. I understand. Doesn't make me laugh. I'm not saying it
make you laugh.
I'm not saying he's not funny.
Chris Rock doesn't make you laugh.
He just doesn't tickle my funny bone the way Tony does. And I said to Tony, Tony, I think you're funnier than your brother. I think you're funnier than your brother. I understand the genius. When he did the joke about, I love black people, I hate niggas.
Yeah.
And he broke that down. When I'm at the Mac machine at 3 a.m, I ain't looking for niggas. I mean, Mike Wallace, looking for the media, I'm looking for niggas. Because Mike Wallace ain't never done nothing to me.
Yeah.
That is fucking brilliant. But does it make me turn, like, boil over and wipe my tear ducts and I got headaches? Chris don't do that to me. Dave Chappelle does. Patrice O'Neal does. I can recognize your genius even though you don't do it for me.
Sure. No, I understand that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. What you named your favorite Rock joke. Do you have a favorite Chappelle joke?
All of them. All of them, nigga. I'll tell you this.
He's a mad storyteller. Before you were like, I don't love the story.
No.
He's a storyteller. Like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but there's a genius in which he weaves truth with humor that is so brilliant. You know, when you talk about taboo subjects like race, politics, gender, most people don't touch those because they don't know how to make that funny because it's hard.
Right.
And Dave has a way of being able to take the most taboo and dangerous subjects and make it look easy. Sure. And that's the brilliance. You know, I'm going to tell you 2 of my favorite specials of his, of all the ones he's done, Killing Them Softly and Equanimity.
Wait, Equanimity.
When he breaks down, when he does the Emmett Till bit at the very end.
What is just the one, I think it's the one before The Age of Spin when he does the OJ bit in 4 parts.
That's,
the Bill
that is the Age of Spin.
Is it?
That's the Age of Spin, yes.
Okay. With the Bill Cosby. I thought the Age of Spin is the one after.
No. Age of Spin was the one he shot here in L.A.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not in L.A.
Yeah.
Keep going. You're in New York.
No. I'm saying that's his special. One was shot.
He shot it here in L.A.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean.
You live in Los Angeles. You're wearing a Yankees hat.
Hey, man, listen. I'm still New York till I die. Tim's.
Wait a minute. You started doing stand-up at 14.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about Dave doing stand-up at 17, 14.
No, Dave started at 14 too.
Did he?
Yes.
I thought he started a little later.
No, he started at 14.
Where did you live at that time?
433 West 34th Street, 9th and 10th Avenue.
Wow, Hell's Kitchen.
Yes.
What did you know that made you think at 14, I can go in there and do, you did 5 minutes at 14, right?
Yeah.
What made you think I could go in there and do 5 minutes of comedy and make these adults laugh?
One, because I didn't grow up in a household where my parents would shield me from reality. My mom and dad cussed. When the family came over from the South and other parts of the country, they made chitlins, played dominoes, spades, you know, Bitch, I done told that nigga, shit. And they never shielded me from
what
that.
your dad taught.
My dad took me to go see Death Wish, the original with Charles Bronson, when I was 7.
Had you been in a comedy club?
No.
But you had seen it on TV?
But
no, they didn't. We weren't on TV in the 70s.
No. But my father's a movie connoisseur. So
Okay.
he everything from Black Man, Tam Moreland, Step and Fetch It, Mom's Mabley. I was a student of comedy and movies and had a love for movies because of my father. So, you know, he might not have done all the things right to raise me right, but if there's nothing else he gave me, it was a library of movies.
Were y'all hood?
You know,
What did he do?
he was a street vendor. He would sell.
What did he sell?
Tapes, music tapes on the street corners.
Yo.
And it was funny too because now where Gotham is on West 23rd Street, that was the exact corner when there used to be a Bojangles there. Before that bank was there was like a little bodega. And every Saturday, against my wishes, he would take me and my sister and hustle tapes, cassette tapes on that corner. And now the thing that blows me away is I go, back before, you know, COVID, when Caroline's was bringing headliners in, I go, now here I am, 20-something years later, my name is on the marquee. I'm headlining the very corner that I used to sell tapes with my dad on.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I was a student of comedy and, you know, watching movies like Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again. I was able to suck in all this. And my dad's range was everything from Uptown Saturday Night.
Was he funny?
Yes, him and my mom. But he was more really, really funny. My mom was subtle funny.
But he was funny in a way that helped you develop your funny.
Yes, and our ritual was every Saturday night, we would watch Eddie Murphy on SNL. That was our thing, me and him.
I mean, Eddie Murphy at that time was just on fire.
Yeah.
Every time he said on screen, it was just hysterical.
When my dad took me to go see
Mr.
48 Hours in
Rogers'
Trading Places. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But when I saw 48 Hours, I remember as a kid, after 48 Hours of Trading Places, I went, I want to be that dude.
I mean, when he took over the honky tonk bar
come on.
and ran them.
Let me tell you something. The new sheriff in town, and his name's Richard Hammond. What the hell kind of cop are you? I'm your worst fucking nightmare, man. I'm a nigga with a badge, and I can get the permission to kick your fucking ass whenever I feel like it. Oh, woo, come on. So I wanted to be that dude.
You want to be that dude in terms of I'm going to be funny and irreverent
funny,
like that.
Movie star, sketch comedy. That's just what I wanted to do, man. I wanted to emulate him.
You wanted to be Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm. And then when I did my research and I learned he's from New York, I'm from New York, his birthday is April 3rd, my birthday is April 3rd. We're both Aries.
Are you from Jersey?
Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, I could do that.
Oh, yeah. That was all inspiration for me.
I mean, he was so powerful and so good.
Yeah.
So early.
Yeah.
It almost made it look easy.
Yeah.
But he was like doing Jordan or LeBron in that league.
Right.
Like just killing the game every night.
Well, to this day, he said the only two things he's ever auditioned for was SNL and Dreamgirls. He's never auditioned for anything else.
Well, no, he was number one. After 48 Hours, where he was number two, he's number one in everything. I mean, I went to see Beverly Hills Cop at like 5 birthday parties that summer. Because every boy was like, we're going to see Beverly Hills for my birthday. Like, and we're all, yes, of course. What else would he want to do?
Yeah. But here's the brilliance of Eddie. And when you're a comic, like we don't know this for sure, but if you're a comic, your comedic gut is telling you. Like when that scene in Beverly Hills Cop, can you tell Victor Maitland, does Ramon, I have Herbert Exhibit 10, and he might want to get himself checked out. No one wrote that. No writer writes that. That was Eddie. You don't write that. Victor Maitland, Herbert Exhibit 10, he might want to get himself checked out for things start falling off on the man. That was Eddie, goddammit.
Start falling off. When he came to the... They won't let no niggas stay in the Beverly Hills Hotel. Right.
Right.
That's what I'm going to call the article from Rolling Stone magazine. Oh my!
Yes.
So going back to the Olympus, if we're looking at the comedic family tree of Aries, Eddie Murphy is father. Who are the uncles and aunts?
Eddie is the father. Richard's the grandfather.
Yes.
And the uncles are Red Fox and Dick Gregory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, again, you recognize Richard as the Babe Ruth of this shit. Richard's the godfather. But Richard was my dad's era. Eddie was my era. And as much as I respect and recognize Richard for the god that he is, from a movie standpoint, Eddie Murphy was a box office bonanza.
Different level.
Richard never did it for me in the movies. Stand up, untouchable.
Well, JoJo Dancer.
Well, no, we talk about dramatic. Dramatic, yes, he was great.
Life was fucking dramatic.
Lady Sings the Blues, great.
Incredible. But wait a minute, but he's a stand-up. You put Richard Pryor albums and Eddie Murphy albums.
Oh, it's a landslide.
For Pryor.
Richard, it's a landslide.
Yeah.
But
those records still crush.
Right. But movies, it's the opposite. See, Eddie's here and Richard's here.
For sure. But I think for a long time, before Chappelle, I felt like everybody agrees Richard Pryor is the greatest stand-up ever. White, black, whatever.
Yes.
And Chappelle started to be like, maybe not. Maybe maybe it could be me.
I won't say maybe not, because I won't know that I'll agree with that, because, listen, Richard was the 70s. There's a different time frame now. You know what I mean?
But he's not doing 70s jokes. He's doing stories about his life.
I know. But
when he does a baby being born, when he went to the mafia guys, it was like, I want my money, and they're laughing. That bit let me tell you
today.
Something.
Richard wrote the blueprint on black-white material.
Yeah.
Niggas and white folks. Everything that you've seen every comedian do now about racial shit, Richard's the blueprint.
About, I don't want you to marry a white woman. Why should you be happy?
Yeah. Yeah.
It kills me.
Yeah. Umar Johnson.
Umar's gonna be so mad. So, Paul Mooney too? In your family tree?
Paul's brilliant writer.
Comedically.
Let me here's my breakdown on Paul. Every black comedian does jokes about race in America, because this is our life experience. This is what we live.
Yeah.
So whether it's Eddie Griffin, Chris Rock, me, Chappelle, I could go on and on and on, D.L. Hewley, we all do black, white, race material. But to white folks, we're easier on the palate than Paul. It's almost like if we were freedom fighters, we're Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass.
And he's Cornel West.
He's Nat Turner.
Oh, for sure.
He is slitting white babies and women's throats.
For sure.
So it's a lot harder for white folks to digest Paul than it is for any of us, because we're not that hard on the palate.
Yeah, but fuck them.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not.
Listen to, I mean,
absolutely.
Where I think you're going, where I thought you were going to go, he's almost like a TED Talk, right? Like, you're spitting game. Right. He's like, I came out of academia and retained my niggerness. Right. And now I am explaining to you why white folks
I'm not saying by any means that, you know, we need white acceptance to love him or embrace him for the genius he is, because you're right. Fuck them. I'm just saying that comedically, as black comics, we're all just as honest and profound as Paul. But Paul's just a little harder to swallow because of the delivery and the style.
Wait, so 14 you start doing bits. Are you doing good at 14?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm not, again, this is where I go.
Who's taking you, dad or
my mother? My mother. But here's the thing. Again, because of how I grew up with that kind of honesty, I never came out the gate cutesy. It was never about, oh, sympathy. It's a young kid. Yeah. Nigga, I came out the gate, motherfucker. I was raw. I was who I was because of my mother and my father. And they pushed me to go, hey, don't be honest. Go, nigga, go hard.
They coached you.
Oh, they encouraged it.
No, they encouraged it, but they coached you like, that was good, but do more of this, less of that.
They just said, be honest. Be honest. Don't come out and try to be, hey, I'm a 14-year-old, so embrace me like a 14-year-old. No, I'm a comedian. So embrace this comedy. Now, yeah, I wasn't, at that age, you're not mature enough to be able to talk about certain things that some adults would get. But whatever it is you're going to talk about,
keep it real.
Keep it real. Be honest.
So how long did it take you to become you on stage?
I think I'm still trying to figure out who me is.
But clearly you're not who you were at 14.
No. You know, here's what I said. It's funny. I said this to Bill Bellamy, who I grew up with and came up with when I did his show Top Billin'. When you go back and look at the old Def Jam episodes, you could see how, even though all of us were funny, how raw we were. Like I said to Bill, dude, when you doing your set, you know how many times you say, it's crazy, right? But joke, yo, it's crazy, right? Blah, blah, blah. It's crazy, right? Like we all got this nervous energy, whereas now we're jazz musicians. We're Thelonious Monk. We Charlie Parker. We Miles Davis. We're doing our thing now, but we've slowed it down.
Yeah.
We found our rhythm.
Yeah.
We know when to turn it up, bring it down. We know how to find the rhythm of the moment and let it work for us, as opposed to fucking like jackrabbits.
Yes.
We want to be funny. We want to be funny. We do want to be funny, but now we're calm.
Yeah.
And there's a coolness to the performance. It's a great thing to watch, man.
And you prefer that stage of your career and others' career better.
That's what I love about Dave. I said if Dave was a musician, he's Miles Davis. The way that motherfucker...
No, it's different than when he was doing the baby selling crack,
right?
Which was great.
Killing Them Softly, one of my favorites.
Yeah. To now, talk about an OJ warmth and what do you say, Bill Cosby? That's still 5.
Let me tell you something, dude. Let me tell you something. Equanimity. When he does the thing at the end about Emmett Till, I get goosebumps, man. The way he breaks that down and the way he has the audience literally in the palm of his hands. You could hear a mouse piss on cotton. They are all leaning forward. They are all, that's power, that kind of control. The only thing I disagreed with was, in the beginning, remember he sets it up, I could write a joke and do the punchline first and write the joke around it. And then I kicked her in the pussy. And then he
I love that joke.
He did that with the stovetop stuffing.
Yes.
I would have saved that to the very end because he repeated it.
You would have saved what?
I kick her in the pussy. Because remember, he did the Caroline Bryant with Emmett Till. And he goes, and we found out that bitch lied on her deathbed. Ooh, that bitch. If I could have met her, I would have thanked her for saying that lie that set the civil rights movement into action. And then I would have kicked her in the pussy. Good night. Now, if he hadn't done that with the stovetop stuffing, and save that to the very end.
No, but it's the whole thing is the callback.
Nah.
If it's not a callback, it's not as funny.
It doesn't need to be a callback.
Because but the callback shows that this is all constructed. I wasn't just talking shit.
Touré, a comic is teaching you right now. Fall back. It's the element of surprise. When he does it with the stovetop stuffing, you didn't see it coming. And yes, it was effective.
Yeah.
But for that powerful buildup, with the Emmett Till thing, which warrants that racist white line bitch being kicked in the pussy.
Yeah.
Certainly if he saves that to the end, you've definitely forgotten about it. Now it's simmered. So by the time he says that, at that appropriate moment, for that appropriate cause, holy shit. The fact that you had already exposed it earlier, it takes a little bit of mystery out of it. It's not as potent. Yes, they go, oh my God, that's amazing. He said that then.
Yeah.
But we heard it already. So the element of surprise is gone.
Coming back to it like an hour later or 45 minutes later, I'm like...
Makes it even more powerful.
Yes.
Because remember, he set it up in the beginning.
That's what I'm saying.
So now that a whole hour's gone by, you have totally forgotten it.
Yeah.
Now it's that racist lying bitch. Kick her in the pussy. Yes. That's my only disagreement with equanimity.
So since you want to teach, how do you make people laugh?
Say again?
How do you make people laugh?
How do I make people laugh?
Yeah, you could do you. I mean, the question is, how does one make people laugh? But how do you make people laugh? What do you do? What is the point?
I try to be as relatable as I can and not force anything. One of the greatest things that Patrice ever said was, it's hard for a comic to sit in silence because it's uncomfortable. Because if we don't feel like we're hearing the audience laugh, we panic. Oh shit, I'm not being funny. Do they dislike me? What am I gonna do? But if you can sit in the silence and weather the storm, that's where you find the true funny. Don't panic. Because when you panic, you start reaching for shit and you start being unnatural. But if you can weather that storm and not let that silence fuck with you, that's where the gem is.
But you got to make me laugh every, 12 seconds?
Do I? There are some comics who can tell a long story, and if the payoff, if the juice is not worth the squeeze, well then you just talked.
Yeah.
But if I can ramble and ramble and ramble, and by the time I get to the payoff, if the payoff is worth, if the juice is worth the squeeze, well then that makes it even more genius. I'll listen to you ramble as long as the payoff is good.
I mean, you are probably signaling it's going to be a big payoff. I mean, I'm compelled for some reason.
Right.
So I'm sticking with you.
Right.
But, okay, that's interesting.
There's a lot of comics that ramble, and when it's done, it's like, nigga, you shit a nugget. You been on the toilet this whole time in a pebble, nigga? You supposed to drop a log in that motherfucker. The juice has got to be worth the squeeze, man.
But you want to tell sharp, short observations.
My style of comedy is like, I want to be Mike Tyson in the 80s. I'm trying to knock your fucking block off early. I'm trying to hit you so hard, your head is in the nosebleed section. I want to kill you. But I'm also trying to figure out how to sit in that silence because it does make me uncomfortable. I come out and from hello to good night, pop, 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 haymakers. I love that. I just love that adrenaline rush of when an audience is just losing their shit and fucking doubled over and howling. And maybe that's an ego trip. Maybe that's my ego. I remember I was at the comedy club in Richmond, and at one point, somebody in the audience said, "Nigga, time out." Yeah.
Oh, somebody in the audience
yelled, "Nigga, time out," because I just kept bop, bop, bop. They needed a break. I was in Birmingham, and another dude yelled out after I had just been bop, 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 "Nigga, you good?" Like that feeds the soul, man. That feeds the creative soul,
How do you write?
I jot things down in my phone, and I don't really try to write whole bits. I write bullet points. And I go, okay, this bullet point is funny. This bullet point is funny. And then when I get on stage, I try to write around that, And then when all else fails, if I feel like my material ain't hitting, I do crowd work. And this is where I got to tip my hat to D.L. Hewley and Guy Touré, two of the masters of crowd work. When I first started, crowd work scared me. And like it scares most comics because if you have to deviate from your material, you're a deer in the headlights. I didn't plan this moment. I know what I planned. And when something happens that you didn't plan, you start looking for something to grasp. But when DL and Guy used to murder motherfuckers in the crowd so viciously, I said, dude, if you're going to be that comic, you need to develop that part of your game. Because there's going to be moments where things don't go as planned. There's going to be moments where somebody might yell some shit out. And if you so stuck in your playbook, oh, you fucked. And then the audience can see you're fucked.
So wait, how do you do crowd work well? Because it is, to me, it seems like it's a total gamble. I'm pointing at you, sir. Please speak, answer a question. How old are you? Is that your girlfriend? What do you do for work?
Right.
And I'm going to be able to make something funny out of what you say.
Or you have to think.
So, I mean,
or you have to think, what if they don't say you have to anticipate both. What are they going to say? And if you anticipate the response, then you have an answer for that response. But you have to also anticipate if they don't respond, then what is your response? You know, it's almost like I tell people.
So you have a plan for the crowd work?
Yeah.
So let's say, let's say I was in the front row and you start doing crowd work and you look at me. Let's say you don't know who I am.
Mm-hmm. If there's something that.
What would you say?
Based on you?
Yeah.
Well, first I would probably attack your 1776 Frederick Douglass haircut.
What would you say? You got the,
I just said
77.
You just
Frederick Douglass.
You nigga went to the barbershop and said, "Yeah, let me get the Frederick Douglass. Let me get the 1776." Nigga, you got slave hair. You know that might be something I say. You know, and anything you say past that is ammunition.
But it's funny because you are roasting me without insulting me. I don't feel offended. It's funny, and I can laugh.
But even if you did feel offended, now it's really funny. Because everybody knows you're upset, and people love to pile on.
Well, it does make it real. If I don't think I've ever seen the audience member get upset.
Oh shit!
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it,
but like it would be like, oh shit, he's really mad.
Right.
Oh shit.
Let me tell you something, dude. Not only does that happen, but even when you go on comedy clips, you read the comments. Oh, that's bullying.
Right.
And people try to discredit the art of improv. That is an art, man.
So wait, if I said, so you what if you just said, so what do you do, sir? I'm like, I'm an accountant.
Keep digging. Keep digging.
To what?
You don't know. That's it. That's why it's improv. You don't know. It happens when it happens. You know, I do a joke where if there's an Asian girl in the crowd, and I'm talking about interracial romance, and I go, listen, everybody knows that sex by itself is amazing, but if you sprinkle racism on top of that, it's explosive. So what's the point of dating outside your race if you're not gonna play the race card? So I pick out an Asian girl. And I go, sweetheart, if you were my girl, I have fun with the fact that you're Asian. We would racially, sexually role play. I'll come home from work one day in a soldier's outfit. And I'm like, I'm an American soldier here to slay some. And then I'll ask the girl, sweetie, what's your nationality? Now, whatever she says, I'm prepared to go. And most times she'll say something other than what I'm prepared for her to say. She'll go, I'm Filipino, I'm Korean, I'm Japanese. And I go, damn, it worked better for the joke if you're Vietnamese. Fuck it, you're Vietnamese. Now that gets a laugh. But then, and this was the improv when it happened, the first time a girl went, I'm Vietnamese. Now I can't go, you're Vietnamese. But what works is I go, Vietnamese, fucking perfect. So either way, it's covered.
But it's also...
But let me tell you the end of the joke.
Also, you're doing a bit. I would never realize that was a bit. But that's a whole...
But that's a whole bit. But before it became a bit, it was improv. It has to be...
Right, but then you realize that worked, and I can,
yes.
I can do that anywhere. Because
that's the magicians that comedians are. But before anything becomes a bit, it's improvised. Once it works... That joke works in San Antonio, for sure. San Francisco. For sure. You just need the situation. Sure. So in the joke, I go, all right, yeah, you're Vietnamese. And I'm an American soldier here to slay some Vietnamese ass. I can't see you. You hidden somewhere in the house, but you got a potato sack on for a dress, a little dirt and dried grass on your face, and I just hear you yell out from a distance, you go home, black man, it's not you war. So there it is.
You're a fucking idiot.
So yeah, man. God. So it's and it's finding those nuggets that makes you go, I'm a comic, man. Because not everybody can do that. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. I love it. That's the best kind of shit.
We just came off Gerard Carmichael.
Yes.
Talking about race play on his show. You saw this at the end of the episode?
I am curious about his show, and it's for podcast conversation. I'm going to watch it, but I like Gerard, and I respect him. And before I say what I'm about to say, let me say this: Like I said, Chappelle is Miles Davis.
Yeah.
I think Gerard Carmichael is, again, style, rhythm, pace. He's Thelonious Monk.
I knew you were going to say Monk, for sure.
But I was very disappointed in him when he went after Dave Chappelle because he came out now.
Well, I mean, he's part of the community, but I think...
But you're a comic first.
Yeah.
No. Comic comes before community. This badge called comedy, this oath that we take called humor, you don't betray that. And to put your personal agenda ahead of what this is, this fraternity, no. You're a comic. You are wired to think and behave as a comic. You putting your personal agenda ahead of your art? No.
And that's kind of what Dave is getting into in, what's the one where he ended with the trans story about the comic that he welcomed
which was brilliant. I want, not Sticks and Stones.
No.
God damn it.
The final, God damn, I'll look it up.
And that was so brilliant the way he did that.
He's saying,
yes,
no matter what you think I have said and feel about trans people,
right?
This trans woman said, can I be part of Daphne? Can I be part of your community? And I welcomed her in. Even though she wasn't that good, I still welcomed her in. And she put
being a comic ahead of being trans.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying, like, Gerard, if you're a comic to your heart, you know better than that. You know better than that.
I feel like comics are either material people, like they have every word and pause mapped out.
Right.
And then there's phone book people who could just read the phone book and you would die laughing.
That's Dave.
Which are you?
I can be the phone book guy, but I think I'm more plan it out. But I can be the phone book guy because, again, that's what improv is.
Yeah.
Taking a moment and going, make that funny.
Yeah.
You know? There's levels to this shit. I'm just not as great at it as Dave. But I have my moments, man.
So wait, all right, so now I wasn't going to ask you this, but you're begging the question. So if Dave is LeBron, as in the best in the game.
Dave is Jordan.
Right.
Dave is Jordan.
In the league right now.
Right.
Right? I mean, obviously Jordan is GOAT, but Jordan is not playing tonight. LeBron is going to play tonight.
Yeah.
And you're right, he's going to work tonight, you're going to work tonight. So if he's LeBron in the NBA, who are you?
I have to fix what you're saying. Dave is Michael Jordan with the Bulls. I'm Michael Jordan with the Wizards. I'm still respectable. I'm still an icon. I can average 20 plus.
I'm still good.
You know,
still out here.
I'm not Chicago Bulls Jordan. I'm Wizards Jordan.
Before we started,
I'm never gonna give LeBron that. I'm a Jordan fanatic, nigga.
No, for certain. Jordan is the best. I agree with you.
Yes.
LeBron is not up to Jordan.
Right. He's and people always think that I have so much hatred for LeBron.
No.
But I don't.
Love LeBron.
I've always acknowledged he's one of the greatest.
Yes.
Just not the greatest.
Yeah. Jordan set an extraordinarily high standard.
Yeah.
So wait, you were saying that you like Godfather 1
yes, over
better
2.
than Godfather 2.
2 don't do it for me like that. Everybody raves about 2.
I mean, I see 2 as better only because it's a more expansive story. It's global. It takes place in multiple countries. It takes place on a street level. And a political level.
And they switch back from...
And it's about the relationship. Ultimately, it's about the relationship between the brothers, right? As opposed to the relationship between father and son, which the father and son relationship is amazing, but the relationship between the brothers and the betrayal, Fredo.
When they would go and show the young Vito Corleone played by De Niro, nothing.
Oh, how he becomes the Godfather. How he shoots the guy.
Let me tell you something. That switch from
what's it? Meyer Lansky, the great acting teacher, to just a small slice. I love him.
Right.
I mean, you know, Fredo.
Who by the way, was Lee Strasberg.
Right.
The teacher of De Niro and Pacino. Right.
Fredo.
Let me tell you something. That moment where after Pacino gets punched and the jaw swollen by McCluskey, the cop, when he sits in that room and breaks down to Sonny about how to kill the cop and Clemenza, whatever the guy's name was, and he goes, it's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business. You see in that frame, he is the Godfather now. And then when you flash forward to after the funeral of his dad, how he goes, after my pop's funeral, I'm taking care of all family business. And he kills Mo Green, and he kills all the enemies. Yeah. And he goes back and he kills who I love.
Scene.
One epic scene.
They're
Carlo
baptizing the baby while they're killing everybody.
And Carlo, you have to answer for Santino. Yeah. That little farce you played with my sister. And then finally the climactic, don't ask me about my business, Kate. Did you do it, Michael? No. Don Corleone, the door. Come on, man.
I mean,
come on, man.
It's an incredible movie.
It is.
But
two is not better than one. No,
it's bigger.
Now, I got to, and I said this to you before we started, I got a bone to pick with your ass. I saw that clip where you did not give my man Leonardo DiCaprio his flowers.
No, I'm not giving him his flowers.
What did you say exactly? He wasn't great?
You know what I'm saying.
But say what you said, so contextually.
A lot of people have a hard time differentiating between a great-looking man, especially on the male side, and a great actor. And he has an it factor that brings people in. And unique and rare. But we could both sit here and off the top of our heads name 10 people who are superior actors.
All right, let me stop for a second.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Let me stop for a second. And I'm going to ask you these questions, and you say yes or no. Did you see Basketball Diaries?
Yeah, of course.
Did you see what?
DiCaprio stands.
Wait.
To like
Touré. What? Touré. Let's just go through it.
Very long time.
Let's just go through it. Did you see What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Everybody gets their friggin'
Touré, did you see This Boy's Life?
My God, these are very old films.
What does that matter? The performance is the performance.
I know, but you're talking about...
Those are 3 epic performances in terms of range, ability. Are you serious? Did you see the Django? He was amazing in Django.
He wasn't the best... He wasn't the top 2 best actors in Django.
Okay, you want to put Sam above him? Fair.
And Jamie.
Jamie was great.
In Django. Jamie was great.
Are Jamie, Sam, and Leonardo not the top 3 in that?
Oh, the top 3.
Okay, so you want to argue about?
But your man is Robert Horry.
So you want to argue about who? So you want to argue about who's Bird, Magic, and Jordan?
No, your man is Robert Horry on the team behind Kobe and Shaq.
Stop!
And you're talking about, look, he got 10
rings.
How many actors do I have to put above him to just say, obviously, Denzel is a better actor, right? Obviously, Christian Bale is a better actor, right?
Stop. No. Give me 3 Christian Bale movies that outplay Leonardo DiCaprio. Give me 3.
Kidding?
Give me 3. Are
you kidding? What was the murder movie?
The fact that you have to go, what is, instead of saying.
That's just my lack of memory.
No. If it's impactful enough to you, you know.
Nigga, I don't remember the name. I might not remember your name 5 minutes after we get off the show.
I'll give you one. I'll give you a Christian Bale movie that was amazing in terms of performance. The Fighter.
Now
When he played Dickie, when he played
the job where he's American Psycho.
Dickie Hatton.
American fucking Psycho.
Okay, one. I just gave you one. I gave you a lifeline.
I know you did. The Fighter.
Two. Give me one more.
Oh my God. You're gonna make me fucking Google.
No, you're cheating.
Show.
Put the calculator away.
I said the names. I come up with the names. All the movies they did. I'm not a cinephile like that. Like I'm gonna remember everything on your phone. But are you saying Leonardo DiCaprio is better than Christian Bale? No, you are not. You're saying he's better than are you saying he's better than Denzel Washington?
Well, listen, here's the hard part about that.
How many do we have to do?
Here's the hard part about this.
He's not top 10.
All of it is
top 10 in Hollywood.
Yes. Listen, it's all...
You're out of your fucking
Hold
mind.
up, here's the criteria. It's all subjective. So we can play this game all day.
For sure.
But here's the thing that me and my podcast partner do. We go actor or movie star. There are some guys who are movie stars, but not great actors. There are some guys who are great actors, wait, but not movie stars.
For sure.
And then there are some guys who are both. Denzel, Pacino, De Niro, Nicholson are both.
Did you see The Departed?
Yes.
Did you see a great actor in Jack Nicholson?
Yes.
Did you think that Mark Wahlberg was a great actor in that movie? Did you think that Alec Baldwin was a great actor in that movie?
Of Boogie Nights?
I'm not saying Mark Wahlberg is a great actor every day.
Right.
He was strong in Boogie Nights. Other people were stronger. He was great in The Departed. You really think
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
He played who he is, a Boston guy.
You know what?
That's like when people say to me, hold up, Touré. That's like when people go to me, yo, and rappers, Ice Cube is a good actor. How hard you think it is for a street nigga to play a street nigga? Ice Cube plays Ice Cube and everything. And if he's playing a hood nigga, he's gonna be great. If DMX is playing a hood nigga, he's gonna be great.
Look. Joaquin Phoenix?
Great actor. Is he a movie star?
Yes, nigga.
No.
What are you talking about?
No.
The Joker is not a movie star.
One movie.
No. You
name another Joaquin Phoenix movie that he starred in that was big time.
Napoleon.
Who?
Napoleon.
Did you see Napoleon? No.
Oh my God. Did Walk the Line. Hello? The motherfucker was Johnny fucking Cash. He is a fucking actor and a movie star.
Not a movie. Let me tell you something. Movie stars.
Brad
Denzel.
Pitt.
Wait a minute. Denzel. De Niro.
Penn.
Jack Nicholson. Al Pacino. Those are movie stars and great actors. Daniel Day-Lewis. Gary Sinise. Great actors. Not movie stars.
Sure, I know, I get you.
Keanu Reeves. Movie star. Not a great actor.
For sure.
Stallone, Schwarzenegger. Movie stars.
For sure.
Not great actors.
No, 100%.
You don't think Brad Pitt is both?
No, he's definitely a movie star, without a doubt.
And a great actor. 7. That's all you need to show me. Not to mention 12 Monkeys.
7 more than 12 Monkeys was
California. Brad Pitt in California with Juliette Lewis.
I think Brad Pitt is similar to Leonardo in that he is a movie star and he is great looking. And you get lost in like, is he really a great actor?
Some of these actors have the Muhammad Ali factor. Pretty gorgeous, sexy, but can whoop your ass.
Like
Brad Pitt
George Clooney is both.
Brad Pitt is not?
Is George Clooney both?
Name the George...
Is Edward Norton both?
Name the George Clooney movie that, acting-wise, surpasses Brad Pitt in 7 and California and 12 Monkeys. Name the George Clooney movie where he dug deep.
I don't have a list off the top of my head. I know fucking George Clooney.
If you can't provide me with the homework, you ain't getting the passing grade. You want me to give you an A and you ain't turned in no homework.
Oh my God. Christoph Waltz.
Oh, from Django.
Yes.
Yeah.
And fucking Inglourious Bastard.
Yeah, not a movie star.
No, not a movie, but that's an actor.
Dude, when Brad Pitt in 7, the ending scene, the what's in the box, and what's so brilliant about that performance is how they cut from all these emotions. Kevin Spacey, Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt. And when the realization sets in for Brad that, yo, my pregnant wife, who I didn't even know was pregnant, who I love's head is in a box. And I'm struggling between killing this motherfucker and upholding the law. So and you see it in the eyes. Here's what's amazing, Toure. You're missing, Touré. The eyes. He's not saying much. When his eyes get watery and he's squinting and he's fighting it, dude, do you know how hard that is to act with your eyes?
So what about your boy Tom Cruise?
I think Tom is one of the most underrated actors in the game. He's such a movie star.
Such a movie star.
But
obviously.
Born on the 4th of July?
Obviously. Massive movie star.
Come on, man.
I think that he is a massive movie star who has spent a long time trying to, or did spend a long time trying to prove to us, no, I'm a great actor. With stuff like Born on the 4th. And now he's like, I'm a fucking action star. I'll just do this. I don't care.
Well, he's older now, so, you know.
But you're on Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
Did you act with Tom at all?
I did not get a chance to, man.
Did they tell you don't look him in the eyes?
No, Tom's one of the most nicest, humble human beings on the planet. Really? As a matter of fact, here's what was so crazy. The ending scene where Cuba gets the contract on the Roy Firestone show, I improvised the whole moment. I didn't have no dialogue. And I said a bunch of shit, and when, I swear to God, when the director yelled cut, Renee Zellweger grabbed my face, kissed me on the cheek, Tom Cruise was doing this, and of course it all ended up on the cutting room floor. I've had a lot of all shucks moments in my career.
But that's very gratifying.
Yeah, but it would have been more
better if they
kept it. Maybe they'd have showed me the money.
You're standing next to an Oscar right there.
Yeah.
For all those days.
Dude, I did. Did
you think like you are killing it, dog?
Yeah, but there's no evidence.
No, but you're there. You're there. You're usually with Cuba in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Almost always, right? Yeah. You're standing next to him.
Yeah. And the famous show me the money scene.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you're fucking doing it. You're fucking, this is a serious performance. You're gonna win an Oscar, nigga.
This is why I keep saying, you talking about in terms of me thinking about Cuba?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think that at that time. Because the movie was like a romantic
comedy. Yeah.
Comedy. And
yo, you were on one of my favorite shows of all time, in A Different World.
Yeah, I did 2 appearances. You know, my manager, when I first came to town, was Norm Nixon.
The basketball player, the LA Lakers.
Married to Debbie Allen, and she was the producer showrunner.
That's right.
On Different World. So
that's how that. So is it easy call for Norm? Please put on this young comic I got.
Hey, nigga, give her some back shots tonight, nigga. Get me in there. Put in some extra work. I know you retired, nigga, but ice them knees and them hips.
I'm not fucking with you right now. God, that's crazy. Was he a good manager?
He was a good father figure, but, you know, in this game, you got to be really willing to get your hands dirty. And, you know, I don't think that was Norm's he wasn't cut naturally from that cloth. Yeah. If it didn't come easy, he wasn't really willing to put up the fight. So he was cool. I learned a lot from him, and I'm thankful. And one of the sweetest dudes ever, man. Taught me a lot, but I just didn't think that was his forte.
Yeah, no, I would be.
Because if it was, he'd still be doing it.
I would be nervous about a former star athlete.
Yeah.
Because a star athlete at that, he was crushing in high school, was crushing in college.
And you're used to getting what you want.
Everything coming to you.
So you have to put up a
gotta
fight.
Go out and get it.
Yeah, it's different.
Threaten people and make shit happen.
Yeah.
Wait, were you going to say before that Goodfellas was better than The Godfather, though?
Yeah, for me, yes. Listen, I get...
It feels sacrilegious.
I get the classic that Godfather is.
Because Goodfellas cannot exist without Godfather.
Right, but Goodfellas is more slick, hip, little faster pace. The Godfather is a period piece.
Well, it's operatic. Is what it is. It feels like an Italian freaking opera.
Yeah.
Goodfellas is a little more soap opera-ish relative to The Godfather.
Right.
I mean, I love the movie.
Here's something I wanted to
put it away.
Here's something I wanted to bring up because I have a love for, and we call it on my podcast man food. Okay. There's certain movies that are just man food: explosions, titties, violence, guns, action.
Okay.
As far as man food goes, Italian mob movies are man food. But then I go, I really can't think of any black crime type movies that I put above these movies, other than maybe New Jack City. I can't think of any street hood movies
that
like rival these mob movies.
You gotta let me prepare for a question like that.
Some people will say Paid in Full, which I saw finally, but does that sit up there with Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, Donnie Brasco, Black Mass?
I mean, New Jack City is definitely a good one. That's definitely.
You know which one I'll kind of ease into that, but even that I don't know that I put it up there.
Menace to Society?
No, Hoodlum. Ooh, that face you just made.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to make that.
You didn't like Hoodlum?
We're gonna ignore that and the wait. You waved off Menace to Society.
Oh no,
like you Caitlin Clark and I'm Dijon. What? Like what? Are you kidding?
No, Menace to Society. It was cool, but up there with that. You think Menace to Society was better than Hoodlum? Dude, what's my man's name that played
American Gangster?
Besides, hold up.
American Gangster?
American Gangster's that's pretty strong. But you know what my problem with American Gangster was? I wanted to see Denzel get more dirty. Other than the scene where in the opening scene where the guy gets lit on fire and he shoots him, and then of course the scene where he shoots Idris Elba in the streets, I wanted to see Denzel get gritty.
Training Day is that. It's a crime movie. They are criminals. They just happen to be cops. But the whole point is to rob the drug dealer.
You know, we're so used to seeing Denzel as the squeaky clean good guy. I like when he gets his hands dirty.
Yeah, when he comes out and plays evil like that.
I always wanted to see him and Wesley Snipes together get dirty with it.
You won't go for this, but it's not necessarily at the level that you're talking about Goodfellas and Godfather, but Dope was incredible.
Dope.
It was more indie.
About the kid?
Yes. Who falls into drugs, like falls into a stash and has to sell it, but that's not who he is.
The better thing for that, for me, in regards to something like that, was Snowfall.
Yeah, but it's a TV show. And he becomes that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I thought we were just talking about movies.
Right.
I mean, it is hard to say a black crime movie
dude, I really don't think you're giving Hoodlum enough credit.
Was the shit.
Who?
Queen and Slim.
I like Queen and Slim. I like Queen and Slim, but that felt was more of a love story.
Well, a love story breaks out, but they are on the lam.
Yeah, they're running. They're running.
They're criminals. I mean, like, they're not.
Then be criminals. They're criminals. Kill some niggas.
They did.
Kill more. I'm trying to think of what is the white actor's name in Hoodlum that plays Dutch Schultz. He plays Dutch Schultz.
You know what's interesting? See, movies are complicated. Is Jackie Brown a black movie?
It is because Quentin Tarantino likes to say nigga 45 times in every movie.
Right, but he's white. Can a white man make a black movie? But the stars, the people we came to see,
right,
Sam and Pam Grier, are black. It's blaxploitation aesthetic. Right. It's a crime movie. The whole thing is a crime caper. We are out to steal that shit.
Again.
And Sam Jackson is a straight up and down criminal, devil, murderer, kills your boy Chris Tucker and Cole fucking.
Yeah, which was the funniest and probably one of the best scenes in the movie.
Incredible.
Yeah. Again, though, does it belong up there with...
I mean, it's an epic movie.
I don't know about epic. I wouldn't use the word epic.
Do you not love Tarantino's?
Okay, if you're going to talk about Tarantino, when you say epic, we're talking about Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
We're talking about Reservoir Dogs.
Wait, what's Tarantino's best film? There is a right and wrong answer.
Pulp Fiction for me.
See, you're still on that Godfather 1 shit.
No.
Pulp Fiction is a narrow story. Shit happens in a very specific amount of time. It's a really, as far as the time elapsed, it's a really small amount of time for a movie of that size. Kill Bill.
Ah!
And I'm not saying one or two. They are one film that the Weinsteins cut into two. But Quentin envisioned as one film. And as one film that is global, that is talking about the West and anime and American and Asian cinema history and gives you fucking amazing characters. One of the greatest fight scenes in Tarantino history in the fucking trailer between L. Driver and fucking, what's her name, Daryl Hannah. That's fucking incredible. This is Tarantino's crowning achievement. This is the fucking championship ring. This is his best film.
I say Pulp Fiction, Django, Reservoir Dogs. Anything below those three, you can mix and match however you want. And one of the movies that was considered almost his greatest movie, which I thought was a complete dud. I walked out the theater Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh, I didn't like that at all.
I walked out the theater, man.
No, I didn't like that one at all. Wow, you crazy. So you're going up to the theater at the Garden.
May 18th.
You already know what you're going to say.
I mean, yeah, I got a playbook.
But it might change. You might flip the order in the middle of the...
Not necessarily the order. I just, one thing I like to do is, most comedians, if not damn near all comedians, they go to the comedy club, they go straight to the green room. The audience doesn't see them until they come out.
Yeah.
I can't stand being in the green room. I feel like an animal in a cage. I come out, I size up the crowd, I stand out there with the people, I let them see me. I want them to see me seeing them. Because I want to be able to, one, I think it just lends to the fact that if they feel that you're accessible, it makes it more personal for them. And two, I want to see what my options are in terms of look at this bitch with this hat, or look at this fat motherfucker right here, or look at this awkward, so I could have that in the chamber.
You remind me of remember the old Jay-Z shows where he would be like, at the end of the show, he would do his version of crowd work where he'd point at people and be like, oh, I see you in the 18th row in the green. I wouldn't have wore that.
I never knew he did that.
He said, I wouldn't have wore that.
Right. Oh, no, I never knew he did that.
Say shit like that and roast people.
Yeah, I never knew he did that.
And he had that tone in his voice like, oh, yeah, I see what you did. Huh?
Yeah. I never knew he did that.
Funny as shit. So, are you taping this?
No. This is just me being there and doing a show.
Is this a high point for you, for your career?
One of. I've performed at the Garden 5 times, but always with other comedians. This is my first time where I'm
headline.
Yeah. Last time I did the Garden, it was I was me, Bill Bellamy, Tracy Morgan, forget the other people on the bill, but some other high-profile people. And of course, it was 10,000 people.
So but it's special.
Yeah.
You grew up around the corner.
Yeah.
And now you're headlining there.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You get nervous?
Every time.
Yeah?
I've been doing this 35 years, man. I still at the pit of my stomach. It's always funny. When I ask certain comedians, hey, man, you get nervous? No, man, shit. And I see their set, and I go, yeah, you should be nervous. You got too much confidence, nigga, and your show don't match your confidence, nigga.
You get nervous, and that helps?
Yeah, because, it keeps me, on my toes.
It does open up your perception.
Yeah. But the thing is this, the hardest part is the waiting. Like, I just got back from Toronto, and I did a sold-out theater in Toronto. And, it's just my opener and then me. And he does 30 minutes. So when you see that full crowd and you hear that energy and you see the response he's getting, I want to eat. I'm like, Rrr. And that waiting is what's killing you and making you more nervous. But once I tell my first 1 or 2 jokes and it gets to laugh, now I'm like a nigga in the gym.
Oh, so,
I drop my jumper, I'm relaxed.
Some people say as soon as they hit the stage, they feel relaxed, but you need to hear some
I need to get that. Once I get them 1 or 2 rushes, then I'm like, oh shit, my jumper's falling.
Okay.
I'm putting up 40. But I need that to feel right, you know?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do we say break a leg or just go kill him?
You know, any one of those will work.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Thank you very much.
Oh, shit, my man.
Thank you, brother. That was fantastic.
Always wanted to tell you, man, I'd always seen you on CNN and I knew who you were, but never met you. And I always respected your level of intellect.
Thank you.
You know, you're just a sharp cat, man.
Thank you.
So, you know, yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Oh, can I pump my podcast too?
For sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's called Spears and Steinberg. It's available on all streaming platforms. Check us out on YouTube under Spearsberg Pod. Hit like and subscribe. And also slide into my DMs on Instagram under Aries Spears. I'll send you the links personally, chop it up with you. And this is very important. And I tell people, I know we're like over 500 episodes. So for some people, they don't want to start from the beginning. But I say start from the beginning because like a good book, contextually, if you know what's going on from the beginning to the current in terms of characters, callbacks, jokes, it'll make sense to you. Where if you start out of place, certain things ain't gonna hit you the same. It's like masturbation and potato chips. Once you start, you will not be able to stop.
Hey, if you like what you saw today, be sure to check out more Touré Show content right here. Don't forget to click that subscribe button for more Touré Show content every week.